Hello, my name is Eduardo Pérez. I'm a student of the degree in International Economic Relations at YM Campus Tenancingo, and I'm going to talk about some features of the Portuguese Republic. I'd like to start by saying that this European country can also be known as Portugal, and it is located in the southwest of Europe, precisely in the Iberian Peninsula, next to the Kingdom of Spain. Despite of the small territory which this country reaches, it's important to say that it has an amazing historical past, which started when the Portuguese Empire arose in the 15th century, making itself consolidate as one of the most important maritime power around the world. All this powerful empire disappeared because of the weakness caused by some trouble about the independence of its main colonies like Brazil in 1822 and the intervention in the Napoleonic Wars. Plenty of things happened after these facts until 1810, when the Portuguese monarchy was broken down by a revolution which made the country become a republic that lasted until 1974, because there was such a terrible repression from the government, and these ones must have been relieved from the power. That event was known as the Revolution of the Carnations. Since then, the country started carrying out plenty of new improvements in the economic model, which constituted a wonderful modernization and encouragement to the economic development and growth. One of the facts about the Portuguese economy opening was the integration to the European community in 1886, which meant the first step for a new era of the Portuguese history that made this country get many good results afterwards. Now, I'm going to start talking about the current economic, politic, and social situation of Portugal. In the economic context, there are some important things to discuss, like the slowing down of the gross domestic product, the deflation caused by the increase of the supply in the markets and the decrease of the consumption, or the increase of the external debt, just to mention some of them, which happened because of the stoppage of economic activities in 2020 because of COVID-19. These days, I have been reading some news published by journalists of the Diário de Notícias, which is an online Portuguese newspaper in which they mention that the level of the GDP is reaching a higher level than this one settled by the European Union, as well as the expectations of the Portuguese government concerning the percentage that external debt represents respect to the GDP. This news made me feel quieter enough because of the way by which the government carries out its strategies in order for the country to reach a higher economic development and growth. Regarding the social situation, I also found some news which were also posted by the aforementioned online newspaper about some trouble caused by the increase of the price of the petrol. But I could realize that it could be a strategy from the government to reduce the consumption of petrol, because as I read, given that Portugal is party of the European Union, it also agreed a program to start the decarbonization and modernization of the industry and other sectors of the economy. All this with the intention to collaborate with the aims of sustainable development of 2030. Since this country entered the European Union, it has been following some statements respecting the monetary, fiscal, and commercial politics because as this integration was arising to constitute an economic and monetary union, all the members must have these features in common. That is why in 2002 the euro was established and put into circulation throughout the countries which were parties of the monetary union. There's something important to say about the relation between the European Union and Portugal, which is free, which is the free circulation of people, merchandise, services, and capitals throughout the territory of the countries that were parties of the European Union then. It's important to mention that Portugal has a quite good position in the European Union because it has done well with all the country, despite of the recession which lasted from 2009 to 2014. This period was coped with an austerity politic from the government because there was a plan of economic recovery applied in Portugal, which was financed by the European Union, and this helped out the country by a significant way. However, the external debt increased indeed, but now the government is working hard on new plans to decrease it. As I wrote in my investigation, what I suggest about how to solve the problems in the Portuguese economy is respecting five things. Number one, the deficit in the GDP. Two, the deflation. Three, the deficit in the trade balance. Four, the rate of unemployment and poverty. And five, the external indebtedness. As far as I'm concerned, I would recommend increasing the aggregate demand in order to stimulate the consumption, investment, public spending, and keeping the value of exportation higher than the one of the importations. Last action would cause a superávit in the trade balance too, and if the consumption increases, the demand in the market will increase too, reflecting this action with an increase of the prices of goods, and consequently the deflation would be regulated to stabilize the level of inflation. On the other hand, respecting to the rate of unemployment and poverty, I would recommend setting up new business to employ all those people who don't have a job, mainly those who are 15 to 29 years old. It's important to say that this year this rate has decreased, and this is because plenty of enterprises resumed their activities. This fact actually has also reduced the rate of people who are in danger of poverty because of a major part of the people who were suspended last year have been back to their jobs and indeed to earn their salary. The last point is concerning to the external indebtedness, which has been completely necessary to finance the operation of the government in order to solve some of the situation like the 2009 recession and the last crisis in 2020. I'm going to stop here, and I hope you could have understood and learned a bit more about Portugal. So far, I'm looking forward to going to Portugal because it's an interesting country to know, and I really hope so you are. Also, I would recommend you to read my investigation document, whose link you can find in the description of the video, so you can analyze deeply what I mentioned during this video. That's all from me, and I hope you've liked this. Bye.